Did you ever have that feeling, that gnawing unease, that something you thought you knew, something foundational, was actually a lie? Like a stage magician's trick, the illusion shatters, and you're left staring at the mechanics, the hidden wires, the sheer audacity of the deception? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a story that's less magic show and more desperate plea. A plea whispered in the shadows, a request so unexpected, so out of character, it's left history scratching its head. We're talking about Roger Bank. Not just any Roger Bank, but the Roger Bank. The man who, for many, epitomized composure, control, and a certain detached elegance. Think of a seasoned diplomat, a chess grandmaster, a man who seemed to have every move calculated, every word measured. That's the image we're dealing with. So, imagine the shock, the sheer disbelief, when whispers started circulating, then grew into a roar. Roger Bank begged. Begged for what? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Before we unravel this mystery, let's set the stage. We need to understand the man, the context, the world he inhabited. Because begging, let's be honest, isn't something you just do. It's a last resort, a desperate act when all other options have crumbled. Picture a world where power wasn't just held, it was wielded. A world of intricate alliances, backroom deals, and the constant threat of betrayal. Roger Bank navigated this treacherous landscape with a reputation as a master strategist. He wasn't known for his charisma or fiery speeches. No, his strength lay in his quiet influence, his ability to anticipate moves, to manipulate events from the shadows. He was the architect, the puppet master, pulling the strings that shaped the destinies of nations. He was a man of immense wealth, not merely in monetary terms, but in influence, and knowledge, and connections. He had access to information others could only dream of. He held the ears of kings and whispered advice to generals. He was, in essence, untouchable. So, why would such a man beg? What could possibly drive him to such a desperate act? To understand, we need to look at the cracks in his seemingly impenetrable facade. We need to explore the vulnerabilities, the hidden pressures, the silent fears that even the most powerful can't entirely suppress. Rumors began to surface about a looming crisis, a threat that went beyond the usual political maneuvering. This wasn't about land disputes or trade agreements. This was something existential. Whispers spoke of a force, an entity, a power that dwarfed even Roger Bank's considerable influence. A force that threatened to unravel the very fabric of the world he knew. Now, we're entering the realm of speculation, of historical conjecture. Because the details of this threat, the precise nature of this looming disaster, remain shrouded in mystery. Some historians speculate it was a political conspiracy, a secret society with ambitions far exceeding the norm. Others believe it was a natural catastrophe, a cataclysmic event that threatened to plunge the world into chaos. And then there are the more esoteric theories, whispers of ancient powers, of forces beyond human comprehension. Whatever the truth, it was enough to shake Roger Bank to his core. To drive him, the man who seemed to have everything, to his knees. The specific object of his plea? That's where the story gets even more intriguing. It wasn't for wealth, or power, or even survival. It was for something far more fundamental, something that speaks to the very essence of humanity. He begged for the time. Time to understand. Time to prepare. Time to find a solution. Time to avert the impending disaster. Time to make amends. Time for a chance. He begged for time, not for himself, but for the world. He understood that the threat he faced wasn't just a personal one. It was a threat to everything he held dear, to the very foundations of civilization. But who did he beg? That's another layer of the mystery. Was it a political rival, someone who held the key to averting the crisis? Was it a religious figure, a spiritual leader who could offer guidance or intervention? Or was it something else? Something beyond the realm of human interaction? The records are fragmented, the accounts contradictory. Some claim he pleaded with a council of elders, a secret cabal that held sway over global events. Others suggest he sought the counsel of a reclusive scholar, a man rumored to possess ancient knowledge. And then there are the whispers of a more otherworldly appeal, a desperate plea to forces beyond human understanding. Regardless of who he begged, or what he begged for, the act itself speaks volumes. It reveals a vulnerability, a humanity, that was previously hidden beneath layers of power and control. It shows that even the most powerful, the most influential, are ultimately subject to the same fears, the same anxieties, as the rest of us. The story of Roger Banks' plea is a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the most carefully constructed facades can crumble under pressure. It's a reminder that power, wealth, and influence are ultimately transient, that even the most powerful are subject to the whims of fate. It's also a testament to the enduring human spirit, the desperate desire to protect what we hold dear, even in the face of overwhelming odds. It shows that even in the darkest of times, when all seems lost, there is still a flicker of hope, a desperate plea for time, for a chance to make things right. The unanswered questions are what make this story so compelling. Who was the force that threatened the world? What was the nature of the crisis? And, most importantly, was Roger Banks' plea answered? We may never know the full truth. The records are incomplete, the accounts are contradictory, and the sands of time have obscured many of the details. But the story of Roger Banks' desperate plea remains, a haunting reminder of the fragility of power and the enduring power of hope. It's a reminder that even the most powerful among us, the ones who seem to hold the world in their hands, are ultimately human. They feel fear, they feel desperation, and they are capable of begging. And perhaps, just perhaps, that's the most important lesson of all. That beneath the layers of power and influence, beneath the carefully constructed facades, we are all just human, vulnerable, and ultimately, seeking the same thing, a little more time. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.